Well, today is Saturday, November 22nd, 2025. I'm in Central Station Montreal. It's 8:15 in the morning. I'm gonna ride this train to Ottawa today. Change of pace, spend some time in Ottawa checking out some of the sites and their local transit system. This will be the first time I've ridden on a VIA train in, oh God, about 30-something years. All right, train 633 to Ottawa is a Siemens set. I'm in car number 3. There's my seat, an excellent seat. Very quiet in here. Nice bathroom. Finally gonna get to ride on one of these. We're allotted 2 hours and 5 minutes to Ottawa. It's about 117 miles. Stops at Dorval, Alexandria, Casselman, and Ottawa. See how these things do. Nice fold-down tray here. On these cars, the actual seat back does not recline, but the bottom of the seat moves forward by moving this latch. You can pull it forward. It's a lot like the next-gen Acela trains, but you got the nice headrest to keep from leaning your head into your next neighbor's lap. I'm in car 3. These are 5-car sets. The front of the train is the cab car. No locomotive. Now here is the business class cabin, which I will be enjoying on the way back. 1-2 seating. Meals and beverages included, including alcoholic beverages like wine, which will make me very happy. Road down there is Robert Bourassa Boulevard, or Robert Bourassa. Should be a decent day today, in the upper 30s. Definitely colder than home. Down the Montreal Subdivision to around Dorval. We go on to the Kingston Subdivision of the Canadian National, and then at Coteau Junction, about 39 miles away, we switch on to the Alexandria Subdivision, which is pretty much high-speed track. Not much in the way of freight train interference. Any freight they operate on that extension, the Alexandria Subdivision, is at night. So generally the Ottawa trains have better punctuality than the Quebec and Toronto trains, because the latter two trains run on Canadian National mainline track with quite a bit of freight traffic that often delays these trains. Perrine Fire Roses flower over there.
Bonjour, mon nom c'est Alex, je suis directeur de service aujourd'hui. Au nom de VIA Canada et de tous les membres de l'équipe, Souhaitons la bienvenue à bord du train numéro 633 à direction d'Ottawa. Nous avons des arrêts d'Orval, Alexandria, Casselman et finalement Ottawa. Pour votre information, si vous désirez acheter quelque chose en classe économie, nous avons un menu dans la pochette du siège devant vous. Nous acceptons les cartes de crédit et débit seulement et le service se fera à votre siège. Si vous désirez recharger un de vos dispositifs électroniques, des prises de courant se trouvent entre les sièges. Hello, my name is Yannick. I'll be the service manager on board today. On behalf of Air Canada and the entire crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard train number 633 en route to Ottawa. We'll be stopping in Dorval, Alexandria, Casselman, and finally Ottawa. For information, if you'd like to purchase something in economy class, there is a menu in the seat pocket in front of you. We accept credit and debit only. Service will be done at your seat. If you'd like to charge one of your electronic devices, the power outlets are in between the seats. Please pay
this is
close
Wellington
attention to the
interlocking.
emergency features. Thank you and have a great trip.
Tracks on the left will head off to the St. Hyacinth Subdivision. There's a Victoria Bridge, St. Lambert, Drummondville, east towards Quebec. There's the rim up there. I definitely have to spend a lot of time riding on that tomorrow. It'll be my last day.
VIA Rail reconnaît les territoires autochtones ancestraux et traditionnels sur lesquels les trains circulent. Pour votre sécurité, veuillez vous familiariser avec les consignes d'urgence de votre voiture en lisant le dépliant situé dans la pochette du siège devant vous et en repérant les sorties de secours les plus près. Si vous devez vous déplacer dans l'allée, nous vous recommandons de tenir les poignées sur les sièges.
There are the engines I saw last night.
Par respect pour les passagers qui
Apparently are based here. GP40-2LW and a GP38-2LW. 50-year-old plus power, man. Great to see those and great to hear them.
Pour des raisons de sécurité, veuillez vous assurer que tous les articles placés dans le compartiment supérieur
This area is
sont
Point
rangés
St. Charles,
derrière le bord de
where VIA
l'étagère
has
supérieure.
their
Si vous avez besoin de conseils,
maintenance facility
veuillez demander
nearby,
à un
and
membre de
EXO has it
l'équipage.
there too. There's some EXO equipment there.
Nos trains et les quais des gares sont des environnements sans fumée. La cigarette électronique est également interdite. Veuillez noter qu'aucun comportement dangereux ou irrespectueux envers les passagers ou l'équipage ne sera toléré et que la consommation de boissons alcoolisées personnelles est interdite. Si vous avez besoin d'assistance à destination, veuillez nous en aviser le plus tôt possible pour que nous puissions prendre les arrangements nécessaires avant l'arrivée.
This Y is where your train's at a pastoral yard. Head east towards Quebec
Si
and the
vous avez des
Maritimes.
questions, adressez-vous à un membre de l'équipe de bord qui se fera un plaisir de vous répondre.
Believe it or not, years ago, VIA Rail
Bon
ran
voyage.
a Christmas holiday passenger train from Toronto to Halifax that did not go into Montreal. It bypassed it. It used that Y
VIA
connection.
Rail acknowledges the ancestral and traditional indigenous territories on which our trains operate. For your safety, please familiarize yourself with the emergency features of your car by reading the pamphlet in the seat pocket in front of you and by locating the nearest emergency exits. When walking down the aisle, we recommend that you hold on to the grab handles on the seats. Out of consideration for passengers boarding at other stations, please occupy the car and seats shown on your boarding pass. As a safety requirement, please ensure that all items placed in the overhead compartment are stored completely behind the edge of the overhead shelf. If you require any guidance, please ask a crew member. All trains and station platforms are smoke-free environments. The use of electronic cigarettes is also forbidden. Please note that unsafe or disrespectful behavior towards passengers or crew members will not be tolerated, and that the consumption of personal alcoholic beverages is prohibited. If you require assistance at your destination, please let us know as soon as possible so we can make arrangements prior to arrival. Please prepare your boarding pass for validation. If you have any questions or require further information, a crew member will be happy to assist you. Have a pleasant journey.
We're sort of doing a loop out of Montreal, going more or less south and then west and then northwest. Milepost 2.75. Good place to hike and watch trains. There must have been a lot of snow here not too long ago. The ride to Ottawa is largely flat as a pancake. Speaking of pancakes, the restaurant where I have breakfast in my hotel, a Hotel Europa in Drummond, oh, if they made them any better, they would be horrible. That's how good they are. It's one of the many things I love about Canada. The pancakes are out of this world. Grade crossings around here are silent, but once we get way out into the country, they'll be blowing. Hopefully we can hear that K5 CA LS1 pretty good back here. should be hitting speeds close to 100 miles an hour on this trip. Highway we're paralleling is Route 20. You take it far enough in Quebec to the Ontario border, it becomes Ontario Route 401, the McDonald-Cartier Freeway, which goes all the way to Windsor, Ontario. The longest non-federally funded limited access highway in North America.
Votre attention s'il vous plaît. Nous ferons un arrêt à Dorval d'environ 10 minutes. Your attention please. We'll be stopping in Dorval in approximately 10 minutes.
Dorval is probably the greatest train watching spot in Montreal.
Si vous vous rendez à l'aéroport international Pierre-Elliott-Trudeau, vous devez descendre à cet arrêt. The Dorval station is the stop for passengers going to Pierre-Elliott-Trudeau International Airport. Pour votre sécurité, nous vous demandons de rester assis jusqu'à ce que le train s'immobilise complètement. N'oubliez pas de récupérer tous vos effets personnels avant de quitter le train. For your safety, we ask that you remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Please be sure to retrieve all personal belongings before leaving the train.
Ottawa is in Ontario, but it's a bilingual city. French and English are widely spoken. Just cross the river from there and you're in Hull, Quebec. Spelled like Bobby Hull, H-U-L-L. Looking forward to taking a walk over to the Parliament buildings. It'll be awesome. Ride their transit system. Route 20 will take you to Pierre Trudeau Airport, and Route 13 will take you to the Mirabel Airport. That's a distant international facility. Pierre Trudeau Airport is more for North American flights. to drive to Toronto, it's about a 320-mile drive. I heard of somebody who drove from Montreal to Toronto in 4 hours. My God. I would have had a heart attack riding with him. I mean, 4 hours. That's turbo train speed. Turbo trains used to make that run in 3 hours and 59 minutes. In fact, the Metropolis with LRC equipment made the run in 3 hours and 59 minutes, but they had to lengthen it because it often couldn't make the schedule. Well, here we are arriving at the railfan hotspot of Dorval, Quebec. This is the long-term parking area. There's the Dorval station building. There used to be a block operator who worked in there. He used to hoop up train orders to CN Freights. The display monitor over the tops of the cars, over the aisles, tell you the stops the train is making, the train number, the car number, even tells you how fast the train is going. All right, out at 9:26. Interlocking here is Dorval Est, or East. I believe now we are on the Canadian National Kingston Subdivision, which goes all the way to Pickering Junction outside of Toronto. From here west to around Vaudreuil, Dorion, we paralleled the CPKC on the right side. I believe that's Dorval interlocking. Traveling on the old Grand Trunk Railroad. Grand Trunk built the main line from Montreal to Toronto. It was completed in 1856. The track was finally connected in Port Hope, Ontario. It was not built by Canada. Canada didn't exist back then. It was built by the British. The headquarters was in London, England. The people who made up the minds to build this massive structure. It was built to high British standards and nothing, thank you. Built to high British standards. It's a high-speed, high-density main line in Canada. The bread and butter of Canada, this main line is. Ran lots of passenger trains, some fast ones. Turbo trains in less than 4 hours, Montreal, Toronto. Rapido trains in less than 5 hours. And other named trains like the Lakeshore and the Bonaventure and the Overnight Cavalier, which took 8 hours, but it operated on a relaxed schedule. I rode the westbound Cavalier train 59 quite a few times in my youth. Loved those day-nighter coaches. Passing through the Pontclair. There are a number of EXO stations on the CP line. 144 kilometers per hour. Everything is in metrics up here. That's about 90 miles an hour roughly. I know 160 kilometers per hour is exactly 100. Take the kilometers, multiply it by 0.6 and you have your miles per hour. I still can't get used to the metrics up here. I mean, I know some, but when they do the temperatures, it's like, what does that mean? All I know is 0 is 32 degrees Fahrenheit, or freezing. Somebody tells you it's 30 degrees up here, chances are they're wilting. I listen to weather forecast and it says rain today, about 20 centimeters. Like, what does that mean? Well, figure 100 centimeters equals 1 meter, and a meter is about 3.5 feet almost. Communities out here are pretty upscale, mostly English speaking. Where you just pass by Beaconsfield, it has a nice old CP rail station there that EXO uses. We just passed accesses the Beau Repair EXO station. Used to park my car at that crossing and watch both railroads race by. The community of Bay de Fay. All these towns have EXO rail commuter stations. restricting signal or something, maybe? This main line is pretty flexible. Trains can run in either direction and either track. And you got a good mixture of passenger and freight train on this line. And the train CN runs are monstrous. Milepost 19. Now those mileposts are still in British units, miles. Crossing is at Bader Phase Exo Station. Interlocking is Caron, C-A-R-O-N. This is the community of St. Anne de Bellevue. Eastbound CN Freight. This is something the Ottawa trains don't have to worry about on much of their journey. Years ago they did, but the trains were later rerouted. DPU there. To rail fan this Montreal-Toronto main line. The Great Grand Trunk. In fact, a lot of the stations that are still standing on this line and still being used, nice stone structures that were built by the Grand Trunk. Canadian National didn't take this over until like the early 1920s. This area is called Ile Perrot. crossing a bridge up here somewhere. Great YouTube video that I would do. I don't know when I'll ever do it. It would be a trackside tour from Montreal to Toronto on this. Oh man, that'd be great. That is definitely something I want to do. The Great Grand Trunk. By the EXO station of Pincourt, Taras, Vaudreuil. I rail fanned at a few of these stations back in September of 2024. I think this might be the Ottawa River. Vaudreuil-Dorion. A lot of the EXO trains terminated at Vaudreuil, with a few going on up towards Hudson. The sun is a bit of a factor right now, but when we get to Coteau Junction, we'll curve to the northwest and it should no longer be a factor. Yeah, we're doing a little over 60 miles an hour now. there's that one. There's the crossing that I sat at in September last year. Saw several trains. They said that you can hear that K5 CALS one pretty good. There's another crossing up ahead here. Silent? Didn't used to be. There are a lot of crossings on the Alexandria Subdivision. You'll be moving pretty fast too. Traffic over there is Auto Route 20 heading west towards the Ontario border, which isn't terribly far away. Coteau is like milepost 39. I think the Ontario border is around 45 or 46. first time I took a ride on a train from Montreal to Ottawa. Canadian National, 1972. In 1972, it was powered by an FPA-4, had like 3 coaches and a snack bar car. I remember the horn on that FPA-4 was a nice, beautiful sounding M3H. Oh man, it was a very relaxing ride. Looks like we're approaching Coteau, past the station, and then we'll be switching on to the Alexandria Subdivision, which is largely a single-track railroad, but high speed. This is Coteau East. Might see CN Power sitting off to the side that operates a local. We don't stop here, but we're slowing for the junction, the turnout. I don't see any power. Coteau Junction. Here we leave the Grand Trunk Montreal-Toronto main line. There's some power. Couple of GP38-2s. You can hear the horn very well. Okay, we're now on VIA-owned track. Shortly we'll be crossing over the CPKC Winchester Subdivision at Tobojo Junction. Across the CPKC on a diamond up ahead here. not that much snow out here. There's some freight business on this line. It's done pretty much at night. You can clearly hear the horn, but he's not blowing it hard. We're slowing down. I think we're approaching the Bojo. We'll thump over those CPKC tracks. Boom, 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 boom. CPKC's Winchester sub is not as busy as it used to be with precision scheduled railroading. Decent amount of rail traffic through this little town. Coteau Junction to Ottawa is about almost 80 miles. Pastoral countryside here. Oh, that's pretty. forward to using business class on the way back. It'll be dark though. Moving now. 147 kilometers per hour. Well, 150 is 90 miles an hour. My arithmetic is correct. He's doing exactly 150 kilometers per hour.
Your attention, please. We'll be stopping in Alexandria in approximately 10 minutes. Votre attention, s'il vous plaît. Nous ferons un arrêt à Alexandria d'environ 10 minutes.
Just a little while after leaving Coteau.
For your safety, we ask that you remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Please be sure to retrieve all personal belongings before leaving the train. Pour votre sécurité, nous vous demandons de rester assis jusqu'à ce que le train s'immobilise complètement. N'oubliez pas de récupérer tous vos effets personnels avant de quitter le train.
Yes, a few miles after leaving Coteau, we entered the province of Ontario. You'll notice the announcements are now in English first and French second. In Quebec, it's the opposite. 57 kilometers per hour. It's up there. 97, 98 miles an hour. Alexandria, not exactly the prettiest horn, but it's different. This is the way of the world in Canadian horns in the 21st century. At Alexandria, I'm going to switch to the opposite side for a better sun angle. Nice old station. The sun is pretty much, we're running towards Ottawa, sort of east-west, so the sun is on the south side, but it should be good here. Diesel here is $1.54.6 to the liter. So you have to convert liters into quarts, and then quarts into gallons, and then you have to convert Canadian money to American money. It's noticeably more expensive than in the States. Next stop is Casselman. Be a gorgeous day in Ottawa. Back in 1972, it was in the fall when I took that first train ride out to Ottawa. The train I came back on was number 2, the Supercontinental, which ran from Vancouver to Montreal, and he was right on time, coming all the way from Vancouver. That train usually did pretty well. Back in early night, well, it was November of '73, I rode on Siemens Exec from Ottawa to Toronto. It was loaded with Grey Cup football fans going to a Ottawa Rough Riders, Edmonton Eskimos Grey Cup match. They were all drunk as skunks on that train, my God. That was a primary through train from Ottawa to Toronto back then. There were trains that ran that connected at Brockville with the Lakeshore and the Bonaventure. parallel to a whole series of through trains from Ottawa to Toronto, like about 4 or 5 a day. Those K5 CALS ones, when they're blown at full volume, they're pretty loud, so the engineer's probably trying to save his hearing a bit. I heard an XOAL P45 DP blowing the horn hard going over the Victoria Bridge. I mean, he was far away, and it was still quite loud. Snow on the ground, nice rural scenes. When I edit this video, I'll try to identify some of the towns we're going through.
Your attention, please. We'll be stopping in Casselman in approximately 10 minutes. Votre attention, s'il vous plaît. Nous ferons un arrêt à Casselman d'environ 10 minutes. For your safety, we ask that you remain seated until the train comes to a complete stop. Please be sure to retrieve all personal belongings before leaving the train. Pour votre sécurité, nous vous demandons de rester assis jusqu'à ce que le train s'immobilise complètement. N'oubliez pas de récupérer tous vos effets personnels avant de quitter le train.
On my return tonight, I will have business class. It's the 2-1 seating configuration. I'll be sitting in the 1. So I'll really have the VIP treatment on that one. Looking forward to it. Church. Enjoyable ride. It's not too crowded. Beautiful pastoral scenery, moving right along. You can hear that horn real good.
Just for information, we're on a sidetrack. We're waiting for oncoming train VIA 24. They have the right of way. We're right next to Alexandria Station and we are on time right now.
You mean
Alors, juste pour
Casselman?
votre information, nous sommes présentement sur une voie d'évitement dans le but de laisser le train numéro 24 de VIA passer. Nous sommes juste à côté de la gare d'Alexandria et nous sommes présentement à l'heure.
Do you know where you are? It's Casselman.
Casselman, sorry, that's Casselman Station, not
Oh.
Alexandria.
Oh, okay, good. Glad you heard me. We'll go back on this side and try to get him. '24 is an Ottawa to Quebec City train. Well, 24 doesn't stop at Casselman, so you should be going through track speed, I would think. Well, not quite, but that was him. We're 47 miles from Coteau Junction. I believe that's where the milepost is reflecting. Casselman. Nice station. Casselman. Should be arriving on Ottawa in about 25 minutes. That highway we passed underneath before we got here was Ontario Route 417, another one of those limited access highways. It connects off of Auto Route 40 at the Quebec-Ontario border. That's the main route you take to go from the Montreal area to Ottawa. I think the sun angle will be satisfactory on this side the rest of the way. Nice homes along the river here. I'll make a dedicated video of the return trip, although I'm not going to do the entire trip. It's dark. But I'll show you what the business class lounge in Ottawa Station is like, what the business class itself is like, and highlights of the ride. I mean, I've ridden on VIA Rail before, but never in business class. I did ride in Canadian National Business Class once from Toronto to Montreal, but not under the auspices of VIA Rail. Up to 90. Oh, he's up to 154 kilometers per hour. About 95. This is excellent track. "160 kilometers per hour. He's doing 100 miles an hour here. fastest part of this ride. I'm seeing 162 kilometers per hour. Back down to 160. I don't need to look at the speedometer app riding on these Siemens Chargers on VIA. The speed is hanging down at the display board on top. $163? Canadian speed record is 140 miles an hour, held by a turbo train many years ago. We're not going to hit that. To show you how this metric to British units drives me nuts. 160 kilometers per hour is not 100 miles per hour. It's actually 96 miles per hour. 16 times 6 is 96. It's still up there. We were close to 100. So 160 kilometers per hour is 96 miles an hour. But he was going over that a little bit. So he was probably up around 98. Overall, the Chargers are nice riding vehicles. Fairly smooth, comfortable. And this is coach. Let's see how business class is later. Yeah, since he left Casselman, he's been peaking out in the mid-90s, mid-upper 90s. Definitely more snow cover up here. Last time I was in Ottawa was back in 1995. My wife had just gotten her green card, so to celebrate I took her up to Canada. Went up to Kingston, visited the chocolate factory in Smiths Falls, and we drove up to Ottawa. It was a February day, cold, similar to today. We walked on the Rideau Canal without ice skates. We were asking for trouble doing that. Had a nice cup of tea alongside the river in a restaurant. Oh, it was beautiful. Strip-naked telegraph poles. Yeah, we're still in the 90 plus. Up to 96.
must remain seated until the train comes a complete stop in the terminal for your safety and your crew's safety. It is also forbidden to leave anything in the passageway, especially your baggages. Passengers that have a connecting train 47 towards Toronto, this is also your stop. You have to go inside the station for your connection. We thank you for choosing Rail Canada. On behalf of our crew, I'd like to wish you a pleasant day. La gare de Ottawa sera un prochain arrêt dans 10 minutes et notre destination finale, je dis bien Ottawa. Nous demandons que vous restez assis, s'il vous plaît, que le train s'immobilise complètement dans la gare pour votre sécurité et celle des employés. Il est aussi strictement défendu de laisser quoi que ce soit dans le passage, spécialement vos bagages. Si vous avez une connexion avec le train 47 pour Toronto, vous devez aller à l'intérieur de la gare pour votre connexion. Nous vous remercions d'avoir choisi VIA Canada. Au nom de tous les membres de l'équipe, nous souhaitons une agréable journée.
Probably Route 417 overhead. And the locking is Hawthorne. I think that leads to the freight yard that Ottawa has for the operator of the freight on this line. It used to be I think it was the Ottawa Central. Remember, they used to run black RS-18s, but I'm not sure how that's evolved today. Might be a Genesee Corporation Railroad now. Should be close to being on time. Yeah, the station in Ottawa today was built, I think, in the 1960s. Closed the downtown station and built east of the city. Here's a Ottawa transit facility behind this wall. You can see the catenary wire. Definitely explore that system. Okay, we're coming into the station. Gare d'Ottawa.
Welcome to Ottawa Station. For the exit, you have to go inside the station, go through the station. For the taxis, for the exit. Thank you, have an awesome day. Bienvenue à la gare d'Ottawa. Pour la sortie, vous devez rentrer dans la gare, passer à travers. Pour la sortie, merci, bonne journée.
That's Trains 47's equipment for Toronto over there. I got 11:08. We're 3 minutes late. Lots of chargers here. We are Ottawa, Ontario, the capital of the great nation of Canada. And it's a busy station. This is no way to run a railroad, folks. This looks like one of those Fairview intermodal trains out of Prince Rupert, BC.
Do you have any of these that are deluxe innovation? Okay, because I think they were the first ones to come up, and somebody got 2 sets of deluxe way overpriced. They weren't out of the box or anything. They have 5 sets from deluxe innovation.
No, these are all Coteau.
Nice authentic model Canadian containers.
Your attention, please. VIA train number 50 from Toronto
I love
will
this.
now be arriving at 11:30. Votre attention, s'il vous plaît. Le train VIA numéro 50 en provenance.
This beautiful structure is the Fairmount Chateau Laurier. I believe that was a Canadian Pacific hotel at one time. And that building right there is the old downtown train station building before it was moved out of town to the east. With the Chateau Laurier in the background, Here are the provincial and national flags of Canada. Well, those flags represent the provinces that I've been to on this trip and the country that I'm in. The fleur-de-lis, the blue and white, is Quebec. Flying underneath it is Ontario, and of course, good old maple leaf. Looks like a soldier's memorial. This is the Spark Street Mall. Well, I found a place here I can have lunch. But first, it's kind of chilly today, but man, how awesome is this? Looking at the Parliament buildings in Ottawa, Canada. When I look at these structures, I'm reminded of a quote from Canada's first Prime Minister, Sir John A. Macdonald, which he said, "If we do not take advantage of the time, if we show ourselves unequal to the occasion, it may never return, and we shall hereafter bitterly and unavailingly regret having failed to embrace the happy opportunity now offered of founding a great nation." And what a great nation it is. Unfortunately, they're doing scaffolding here, but this is magnificent. And there's Old Glory on top.
Oh,